Nice to see you again here. You did all very good. Thank you. And I want to start with talking about them. Okay. So we are seeing one of yours. So it's very good. The things that I wanted is exactly like this. I wanted you to practice focusing, which is the fundamental thing in photography. As you see that this person did it very well, and just different focusing. We can see here just moving the focus to other objects, and again here. So the thing that I want to say about your work, so this one is very neat and very good, but there were some of you that it was a kind of repeating the same objects, or the objects were not that much quite beautiful or organized. It's okay for contact sheet. I want to just mention it that if you want to use this photo also for your assignment, it's better to do it perfect right now. Because if you just do it to show that you practice, and if they were not very good or organized, or the objects are not very good, so it may affect your assignments. So it's very good if you choose everything. So this is a very good example. You see, everything is quite good, acceptable, and the objects are different. I see this person practice very well. Yeah, that this is the thing that I saw among your work, and I wanted to mention. And today, after we finished, I will go to the contact sheet document, and we will talk about it to be to clarify it and to be sure about what I want you to do. That was my suggestion about your work. So today we are going to talk about shutter speed. So actually today we are going to start photography, a kind of that we control all the things, not all the things. For now it's just shutter speed. The previous time it was not actually photography, we just practice focusing, we understand that how to focus. Now we want to start photography and controlling the raw light and controlling motion. One of the most important thing about photography is freezing and motion. You know, before photography, people were not able to see things like the way that we see today. So they didn't know how a horse just run, or they don't know anything about birds flying. They don't know anything about how a drop of water is when we're touching the level of water. So they saw many things after photography. So freezing is very important in photography, and for many people, when we are talking about a good photographer, they say, wow, very good photographer. So what is it? It's a person who is just jumping in the water and the splash of water around of him or her. So they think, wow, this is a very good photo. Because most of the people, when see a photograph freezing something, they really be excited, because we cannot see most of these things with our normal eye. For example, now we are seeing a drop of water, and we can say it's hard to see what with our eyes. We should concentrate a lot, and we should be fast enough to see a drop of water like that. So I assume that it's approximately impossible to see with eyes. So first of all, now we are going to talk about freezing in photography. Freezing is a common technique, giving a scene with an object that moves at a certain speed. So when we are talking about freezing, the subject should be moving. And one thing else, it should have the situation of moving even in the photograph. What I mean, for example, just think about a very fast car that it's moving on the street, and we take a photograph of it, just showing it's in the street and not moving. So it could be a car that is stopped there. So it's not the meaning of freezing. You know what I mean? For example, just think about a soccer ball, okay, a football ball. Okay, when we shoot the football and it's just running or just moving on the field, it could be very fast. But if you freeze it, on the level, on the field, it doesn't make any sense because it could be stopped there and we take a photograph of that. So, but when a ball is over the level, in the a little bit higher than the ground, so then we say, wow, this is freezing because it's upper than the level. But it's if it's on the level, so it's not freezing in the photograph. Even the ball is moving with 100 kilometers an hour. So the other thing about freezing is just this. For example, look at here. You can see. So this is my mobile phone. Okay, I'm trying to move it. See, it's moving from here to here. But if I take a photograph from this scene that you are looking at this, so it could be something like this. Yeah, and it's not freezing because the mobile could be here. Did you get what I mean? Cool. Okay, let's continue. The photographer can capture it with the higher speed, high speed, shutter speed, and freeze the action. But the question is that what is high shutter speed? How we can calculate it? How we can understand that what is high shutter speed? Okay, let's see. Fast, slow, long shutter speed. So we want to understand these things. First of all, we should know that what is normal shutter speed. We should understand what is the normal, what is the average one. Then we can talk about higher and the slower, faster or slower. Suppose that we are talking about people, okay? Their height. If we say that that person is tall and that person is short, it means that we have an average in our mind. Then we can say, okay, that is tall and this is short. But without having average, we cannot decide about this thing. So now, first of all, we need to understand what is the normal shutter speed, what is the average shutter speed. To understand, there are two factors which define the normal shutter speed. First one is the speed of the moving object. Yeah, that's correct. It's speed of moving object. So the moving, now I'm a moving object. I'm talking, my hands are moving. So I'm a moving object. If you want to freeze me, you need at least something to freeze me or to take a photo that I'm in a good condition. That is the normal shutter speed for taking photograph of me. Usually normal people, normal talking, normal walking, our common movement, it's 1/60 of a second. We consider it a normal shutter speed for most of the time. As you remember, we call it 50 millimeter a normal lens. Now there is a connection between these two things. So the normal lens is a 50 millimeter lens. A normal shutter speed is 1/60 of or 150. There, it's okay. 150 or 1/60 of a second. The other one, which is really important, is focal length. So we should always consider our focal length in photography. The focal length contribute to the camera shake. I want to say that, for example, when we are gonna shooting, suppose that because photography is like, you know, shooting with a gun. If I have a gun, okay, for example, like this is a gun. If my subject it's near to me with a shaking like this, I can even shoot the subject, okay, with the because it's near to me. But if it is far from me, just a millimeter, a little shake could be 2 or 3 meters far from the subject. It's the same in photography. When you have longer focal length, a little bit of shaking could result in blurring photography and all blur, and it's not you know, a good and freezing point. So it's very important to think about your focal length, and it is recommended to use a shutter speed that is near to your focal length. For example, if you are using 135 millimeter lens, your ideal speed should be something near to that. It's 1/160 of a second. So bring the camera. So here, this is again a lens, a zoom lens, and I'm choosing 135. So this is my focal length. Then I should, my shutter speed, I should choose my shutter speed something near to that one. So I start here with 100. You see, so something near 100, then 125, then 160. So which one is near? I think because I want to be sure about shaking and just I can try 160, but something. It is not the things that we should always care about it. Or if, for example, I take a photo with 125, there is a guarantee that the photo is bad. No, it's not something like this. So this is, as you see here, it is recommended. So we can use also 125. Also, it depends of the person to person. So for example, I may be able to take a very good photograph on 180, 180. I may be able to take a photograph of 180 and it's not shaking and I can stabilize my camera like this. So person to person is different. But these things is recommended by most of the photographer, and their experience show that it's a very good idea to just consider these focal lengths and think about it. You can try it and find yours. Maybe after maybe after lots of practicing, you understand that you can even take a photograph of 200 focal lengths with 100 of a second. So you can say, yeah, I can take the photograph and it's bright and it's perfect. I won't say, okay, no, don't do it. Yeah, do it. It's up to you. If it's okay, so there is no problem. But remember, usually we called it the normal shutter speed. So normal shutter speed, it's connected with the focal length. This is why we called it 1/60 of a second a normal shutter speed. Any questions so far? I cannot see. Okay, no. Continue. So there is other thing I want to talk about it today. There is a concept, we call it stop in photography. What does it mean? Stop is like step. So when we say, for example, 4 step far from here, or 10 step far from here, it means steps. So here stop means something like that, but the different meaning. Stop is doubling or halving the amount of light that let in when you taking a photograph. So it could be changed by any of these three features: shutter speed, aperture, and ISO or ISO. Here we are talking about shutter speed. And when we are talking about shutter speed, we could say that one stop in shutter speed means that doubling or halving the speed or the shutter speed. It means that changing from 100 of a second to 200 of a second could be doubling, or changing from 60 of a second to 30 of a second, it means that halving. So these are the differences in stop. But nowadays, most of the cameras, they have 1/3 of a stop between one stop. So what does it mean? It means that you have 3 other number between 100 of a seconds and 200 of a seconds. Let's see. So this is, as you see, this is 100 of a second. I will go to 1, 2, 3. 3 others, you see, 1, 2, 3 numbers so it is divided by 3 parts. It means that you should change 3 times this dial to go to the next stop. It's a rule in all of the nowadays camera, okay? Because in old cameras it was half of a stop, but now we have 1/3 of a stop. It means that, for example, if you want to go from if you want double the shutter speed, you can change it 3 times to the right. 1, 2, 3. That is doubling. 1, 2, 3. If you want to half it, 1, 2, 3, backward means to the left, according to this camera, to the Canon. So you can check it in your camera. Always when you want to double the shutter speed, you should turn it 3 times. Again, look at here. So this is 400. 1, 2, 3. See, 800. Again, 1, 2, 3. 1,600. 1, 2, 3. Each time, just it's double it. Okay, it double it. And for having shutter speed, changing shutter speed, yeah. Okay, yeah. So I said, now we understand that what is a normal shutter speed. Then we could say that, okay, now this is a normal shutter speed. For example, when I want to take a photograph or 85 or 100, 135. So the shutter speed, normal shutter speed here is 1/60 of a second. And if I want to have a higher shutter speed, means 1 stop higher, 1, 2, 3, means 320 of a second, or 1, 2, 3, 640 of a second. So they are normal higher shutter speed. It doesn't mean that if I go from 160 of a, sorry, yeah, here, if it doesn't mean that if I go from 160 of a second to 200, it's not a higher shutter speed. Yes, it is, but it's not that much. So we are not consider these things very important. We just usually change the shutter speed by a stop. Okay, 1 stop, 2 stop, and other things. Any question right now so far? Okay, let's take a photograph. Before starting the class, I just took some photographs and I want to try it again with you to see how we can capture a drop of water and freeze it. Okay, so we'll connect again this camera and okay, I put a bowl of water here, and this is a bottle to just have some drops, and I want to just frame it. So I will go for one, yeah, I will go for 85, and because I want to have a focus area, I put my finger here and focus. Okay, I put my finger because I want to focus here. This is the drop zone. Okay, now it's focused here. Then I change my focus from automatic to manual because I don't want to change it during photography. Okay, if I put it on automatic, every time that I press the button, it will change the photography. It will change the focus. And it's very good if I choose the fast photography. You cannot see through my, okay, let's show it like here. Okay, this one continues because I want to be sure that I capture at least one of the drops. So I put this one and I come back. So it's 85 and 80 could be a very good shutter speed. Then I will double it. 1, 2, 3. Then again, 1, 2, 3. I think this is a good point. I check it. If I was not able to capture a very good one, then I go higher. So that is very good for now. Okay, so I focus on that area, but I will bring my camera a little higher to have something like this. So I start dropping the water, drop waters, and I take photograph. So let's try it. Okay, let's see what we have. So that was not a big deal, just trying to, so I choose just the good one and we'll show you the good one. Or we can see all of them, yeah, because they are different. Let's see all of them. Okay, this is actually a good one. It's not a good one because the drop is a little forward and we didn't capture anything here. So this is a very good one. We called it crown. Again, the other one, it's acceptable. Again, a crown, and it's very good one. It's not a good one, it's a little blurry. Oh, it's a very good one, but it's before the class. I just took the same things before the class, yeah. You see, it's not a big deal. You can do it in home, but always consider about the light. If you want to do it indoor, it's really hard. You see here, this one also, the camera bring up the ISO to compensate the lights because the light is not today very good. It's overcast sky, and yeah. So if you are trying to do it at home, it is recommended to have a very good light. At least open your windows or something like that. But I want to do something else. It's very funny. I want to add a little of these colors to water to see what happened. So it could be beautiful. You know, you can. These are food colors, and you can buy them everywhere. Actually, I bought them Walmart. So I add the blue water here to see what happened. Let's try it. It could be fun. So 3 drops. Now we have a blue water. Actually, it's safe to drink because it's food water. Let's try again. Okay, let's try again with the blue drops. Let's see what we have. Yeah, I will show you this one. It's a good one. Yeah, you see, it's a little blue, and we were able also to add this color to the water or red, anything. So they have different colors, and it could be very nice. For example, red. Or you can, if dropping water is hard for you, these are just suggestions. You can do anything for your practicing. But you can, for example, drop cherries, drop berries, everything to the water, it could be beautiful and nice because of splashing and all the things that happen by dropping something in the water, and it could be very useful. So now we understand that for having a higher shutter speed, we need one stop or two stop. It depends of the moving object also. So this is a normal shutter speed. According to our focal length, then we can just double it or go to stop and more. Just, I want you to just practice it right now. And I think, is it okay you have 10 minutes or 15 minutes? What's your suggestion? Any idea? It depends on, okay, 10, yeah, sure, 10 it's good. Okay, people suggesting 10 is good. Okay, for 10 minutes, it's 2:30, 2:40 we will start. And I want you to check how you can freeze something. You can drop anything right now. You can drop, you can drop shoes and take the photograph of it just for practicing and understanding the situation to see if you have any problem. Okay, see you 10 minutes for the longer lens. What should that shutter speed be? Okay, it depends on your focal length. If you have 200, go for 200 of a second is your normal shutter speed. Then you can go 400. So something like that. But it depends also the moving object. Yeah. Okay. Do it. I will see you 10 minutes later. I'm here. Okay, this time I will come again to, this is a normal shutter speed. Then I will come one step and two steps lower to see what happened. Okay. So let's see what happened. See, we have here a shape of moving rays and they are blaring. And you also have the focus rays. So if it was much more, I didn't want to make a mess here. So if it was more of the rays, it would be more beautiful. But you see, you have the their trace and moving. And let's see the other one. Yeah, again here, these are blaring. I think these were for freezing, but the shutter speed were not enough. You see, this is the same problem that we were talking about. So the shutter speed is not good for here, and you see we should go for higher shutter speed. This is the problem here, and they are not freeze. But yeah, for motion, it's very good. See, this is very easy. Every moving object, if you bring the shutter speed low, the moving object could be blaring. If I move my hand like this and the shutter speed be slow, so my hand should be blaring, something like that. That is really easy. So now I want you to practice this one for some minutes. I think again 10 minutes is okay. Please bring your shutter speed low and try to capture a moving object. And it's very, if you do not have anything right now, you can be like this. Just move your hand in front of your camera and take a photo to see what happened. That's the easiest way to practice the shutter speed. But if you have a good object or you have a hand to help you, you can pour anything or you can move anything and see.
So this is my just the regular frozen.
Yeah, nice.
And then this one, if you could see that one.
And could you tell us about your shutter speed and what is it?
The shutter speed for the frozen one was, I had to go had to go higher than what was recommended. So it was around 1,000, I think, for me.
Oh, good one. Yeah. And then you know that you can always show your shutter speed and your photo data from here. You can just click on that 3 dot right over. See, Right? No, on your computer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, go there, click on it, and file information, you see?
Okay.
Click on it. So yeah, see, we have here your information, and it was 2,500 of a second.
Mhm.
See, you can always check your, you can always check, because my microphone is wrong. Okay. Okay, continue.
Yeah, sorry that my laptop's kind of freezing, but if you could see this one, or could you? Oh wait, wrong one.
So that is smearing or motion.
Yeah. And then again, file information.
You have 125 seconds. Okay. Yeah. So there are three colors at the background of this motion. The one is white, that it's because of the edge of the bowl, and then we have gray and a little of black. You see, people? So we can see the moving this rise when the black is background is much better. I want to say that when something is white and it's moving, it's very nice if we put a black background for that one. You see here, we cannot see when the white background is, but the black or gray is much better. I want to just mention it for the next time. If you want to try something like rice, it's much better if you have a black background. Thank you. So now I want to talk about panning. The whole idea of panning photography is to shoot a photo of a moving object while panning your camera along with the subject. It means that you want to take a photograph while you are moving your camera, something like this. So this time you have a moving object and a moving camera. So moving object and moving camera. But one thing is really important. These two moving are aligned with each other like this. So these two moving are aligned with each other. One thing you need to make sure is that the speed at which you are panning the camera should match the speed at which the subject is passing by your frame. Yeah, this is very important. And we want to take the picture of this moving object. So the speed of camera are the same, but if we bring our shutter speed a little low, then we could blur the background. So first of all, I take a photo by moving my camera, just moving my camera and bring it a little down. So it's on 50, so it's on 50, and I take a photo one step down to see what happens. So it's on 50 and my shutter speed is 125 of a second. So I'm just moving. I want to show you that what happened. Okay, look at this one. See, everything is moving, everything is blurring because I move the camera and take a photograph. That's all. Now think a moving of a camera and an object in front of it, like my hand, for example, because I don't have anything else right now. I can use my hand. So I will show you my hand and taking a photograph of it. First of all, remove it. So this time, I want to take a photograph, the same thing that I take a little. Yeah. Now, again, so it's. Okay, let me show you. what happened and what we have right now. See, this time I added my hand to the photograph. So my hand, it's not blurring because it was moving aligned with the camera or aligned with the lens, something like this. Okay, and you see my hand is not blurring, but the background is blurring. So here is the background alone. I added my hand toward this, and I find it that because of the lens and other thing, it is very important to find the best shutter speed for this time. I suggest you to go with one stop lower than normal. So I start with 50 of a second. So one stop lower is 25 of a second. Then I will go to see which one is the best. Maybe 30 of a second, maybe 40 of a second. Just try different things. So this is the thing that it's easy with my hand, but the best idea is to capture the panning with a car, with a motorbike, with a bicycle, with a scooter, with a bird, everything. For example, you can go to, everywhere here, every park in Calgary, there are Canada goose, they want to fly, or they just, they have, sliding on the water. So you can take a photo, very good photo of them. So these are suggestion. You can go for anything else. For now, again, some minutes to practice it, because I want to be sure that this is very important. Actually, before this COVID-19, this kind of class were practically, and we have lab, and you should practice all the time. You should be around me. But now I should give you minutes and minutes for you to just practice to see what happened. So now let's go for panning. As you see, this is panning. So the girl on the bike, and you see the cars and the walls are moving. And here it's a very, very nice trick here. You can try it, it's up to you. You see, the girl is on the bike, the photographer is in the car. Actually, this is a very good technique. The photographer, so here, this time the photographer is not moving his camera. So, but the trick is that he is on a truck, on something, on a vehicle, and he is moving with that vehicle. And they have the same speed with the bike. So the trick is not moving the camera, but moving the whole body, the whole setting. Let's go back and tell you the same thing happened somewhere else. So here, the photographer is in the car, the girl is just passing by, they were passing together in the same speed, and he or she took the photo. That is very nice, and there is no need to move the camera. And you can see also here, yeah, you see, they are just back of each other, and all of them, they are moving. You can also try this one. So these are the other tricks. For example, you can be on a truck, just somewhere else, on any vehicle, and have the same speed and have the same result. You know what I mean? Did you get the point?
Yeah.
Good. Let's continue. Okay, now I want to talk about zoom burst. Zoom burst is a photographic technique attainable with a zoom lens. So it's not, I cannot take that photograph with this lens because this is a prime lens. Okay, with a prime lens, I'm not able to do that. But there are other techniques could be or could result to something like that. Okay, with this lens, I will let you know, I will tell you, but I'm not able to do it right now because I need something else. But we can do all of these techniques with zoom, with the zoom lens. So what is it? Using this technique involves zooming while the shutter is open and relatively slow shutter speed. It's the same as panning, but during panning, this is the point. During panning, we move here like this, but when we want to take a zoom burst, we just zoom and take a photo like this. During zooming back, we will take the photo. That's all. So instead of moving like this, we are moving like that. But there could be another option with this kind of camera, with a prime lens camera. How about I have the possibility to move forward like this or move backward? So it could be the same result. If I, for example, start taking a photograph like this, going forward and backward, it's a little hard, but it could be easier if you be on a vehicle. I mean, if you be on a scooter, bicycle, in a truck, on the car, just in front of you, take a photograph with a slower shutter speed, all the things move around the scene. It have the same result. Just try it. Okay, try it like kind of being in front of the car and take a photograph while the car is moving smoothly. You can have the same result. Just try it and let me know that if you were successful or not. So here, this time, again, I connect my camera to the computer to show you what will happen. So you see that I changed the setting here because I wanted to have some, I put a tablecloth on the table because the table was white and it's not good for having these things. For having a kind of photography like zoom burst and panning, it is very important that we have texture. If I take it, for example, panning from that wall, nothing happened because it's empty. So if I do a zoom burst on that clock, nothing happened. It should be on something that it has detail. So here, okay, I will go and I will zoom. Okay, first of all, I will zoom and my shutter speed should be something that, okay, it is focused now. Then I will come back like this and take a photograph during going back. So during going back means that I start moving, then taking photograph. You see, it's moving around. It's like something like that happening. Again, I will bring the shutter speed a little lower. So again, first of all, I focus. Then I should do it. See? Something like this. This is the result. You see what happened? I'm moving the things around the object. It's very nice, and it's a very good technique to focus on the subject and show all the things around it. You can always do it. It's very nice. I hope you got the point. That was the other technique for today. Oh yeah, good. Yes. So just wait here. You see here, there are not much detail around the object. This is why I changed the table and put a tablecloth on it. So we need details to show. Yeah, I see that this is zoom burst, but we need details to show our zoom burst better. Okay, go on.
Oh, this is it.
Oh yeah, approximately they are the same because I didn't even know.
Yeah.
You change it. So that is very good. Yeah, but you see, yeah, everybody just listen to me here. You see, the problem here is that we do not have details on the background. And when we do not have details, and it's something like this, that I assume that it's the bed cover or something like that. So there is no detail, so we do not see the moving things around the object. So it's much better if we have details. Thank you. Oh, good. Yeah, this is very good. You see, it is the matter of details around the object. Yeah, perfect. Do you have anything else to share?
Just zoomed out more.
Yeah, see? Very good. Yeah, I see that you did it very well. Good. Yeah. When I say something or comment on the people, just wanna the other friends just understand that what is the problem, how it could be better, and everything is optional. Yeah, here. Okay, now long exposure photography. When we say long exposure, it's not the matter of slow shutter button. It's a slow shutter speed. It's about long exposure, means that seconds, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, even 1 second, when it's not it's not the fraction of a second. It's a second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, means long exposure photography. So how we can do it easily? We can go now. Let me show my, okay, so that was a very good question. So let's go to, it's a 50 lens, so the normal shutter speed is 1/50 of a second or 1/60 of a second. So these are the normal shutter speed. If I go higher, then these are higher shutter speed. If I go lower these things, for example 1/30 of a second, 1/20 of a second, these are lower shutter speed. But now I want to go through something else. I want to go through the seconds. These are fractions, so I will go see, these are still fractions. Look at this one. It's 1/5 of a second, but this one is half of a second. So half of a second. You know why? Because this is O quotation mark and 5. That quotation mark represents seconds. But because it's in between O and 5, it means it's actually it's 0.5. And now 8.5, 0.8 of a second. And now it's 1 second. 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds. So these are the numbers here. I want to talk about these things, like 4 seconds. So let's do it. Okay, so it's 4 seconds, and now 10 seconds. Okay, I have 10 seconds of photography, and I will walk in front of the camera. Okay. But I want to show you here to see me that I'm walking and taking photograph. So I will change it to my regular camera. So you see, then I press the button. So the photo is taking. Now I'm walking here. So I'm walking 2 times and it's finished. Let's go to the camera and see what happened. There is no me, or actually some shadows. Can you see the shadows of me on the sofa? Some part of the sofa here. So actually there is no me. What happens? Where am I? Because it was a long exposure, the camera couldn't capture me. But I want to show you something else. Let's do it again. So you have it here again, 8 seconds. But so this time I'm gonna just wait. Where is, okay, turn, no, where is it? Yeah, I'm gonna use my camera, my mobile flashlight, and it comes with me and I walk there. Okay, so again I press the button, it's taking a photograph, and now again I'm moving. So with my, and it's finished. Let's see what happened. Look at this. There is no me, but the light is there. What happened? Because it was continuous and it was a light, and the camera is sensitive to the light, but I was not the kind of illuminate things, but the mobile has a light, so we can see the light, but you cannot see me. It's very funny. I can write there everything you want. and I can do anything because, you know, long exposure photography means this: the picture, the things that are still and stable somewhere, there will be in our clothes. Look at the sofa and pillows. They are all there. But me, because I was walking there, I'm not in the photograph. But my mobile phone is not, but its flashlight is in the photograph because it was illuminating. Okay, you can see me again. This time, I will be there. Okay, I just move my hand. See, I am there. My head is moving a little because I was talking, and you cannot see my hand, or it's something like that. I'm moving it, but I'm there. But if I move a lot, like the previous time, you cannot even see me. But if I move with a light, it's very nice. So this time I try with light, and I try to write something for you. So again, I should. It's not that much hard, but at least there are some lines. Okay, sorry for because I'm not seeing the frame and all the other things. So yeah, that was all. What do you call this photo type? We called it long exposure photography, or painting with light, all other things. So the technique is long exposure. But if you try to write something or draw something, it's light painting with photography. You can call it everything you want. There are a bunch of different names for this in the internet. You can search it and find it. So I think we have 10 minutes to finish the class. And okay, this is contact sheet number 2. So for this one, you need to do all the things that we learned today. It means that put your camera in shutter priority mode, what we did, and choosing highest speed, try to freeze moving objects such as a drop of water splash, flying bird, jumping, anything. So you see these things. You can go to your neighborhood parks, playground, and take photo of the people. You can put some, you know, fruits on the water or a tank, or you can drop the, you know, just freeze the drop like the one you are seeing here. So it could be 2 to 3 of your 12 photos. So 2 to 3 should be freezing. Then you have a slower shutter speed and blurring option moving. So for this one, so it's not panning, it's blurring. For this one, or smearing. For this one, you need to practice 2-3 photos of 12 photos. And after that, we have slower shutter speed and panning. So for panning also, you can have 2 or 3 photos for panning. And zoom burst, 2 to 3 photos of these 12 could be zoom burst. See, these are the zoom bursts. Again, details are very important in zoom burst and panning. Details. So your scene should have details, not a white wall or a plain clothes. And then you have long exposure photography, the things that just we did it. So this just share things, 2 or 3 photos for each of these assignments, for each of these techniques. Remember this one. You can upload an app in your mobile phone, and it has different light like this one. Can you see? So this is it has a kind of blinking. It's like a ambulance light. So it has blinking red and blue. You can move this one. So your moving object, your moving light should be like dotted. So dot, different colors. So you can try different things. Yeah, good luck, and don't worry. If you have any question, just send me an email. I will answer you as soon as possible.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.